follow-up video. We've got Andy's engine stripped here off his D8, and that's the piston and liner, and Andy will explain what we should have and what we shouldn't really have.
Okay folks, well here is a piston and liner off a Picco P7 Evo 3 engine. It's had about 10 gallons through it, so it's done very well indeed. But as you can see at the moment, it's getting a bit worn. I'll push the piston right to the top as far as I can get. There you are. And as you can see, it's virtually pushed through the top of the liner.
Yeah.
And you can imagine, if that engine is hot, it will lose compression. So what we're going to do today with my engine is make a collar and repinch it, and we'll give you a demonstration of what the piston in the liner looks like after it's been repinched.
Good stuff, Andy. Okay, mate. Right, this is just to show you a bit of machining. We're just drilling through the actual bar stop metal here. Eventually we will bore the middle out, just to show you a bit of machining here. Right, this is showing you guys a bit of boring. Andy's doing a bit of boring here. Haven't quite got the right setup with the tools, we're improvising, keeping the costs down. Oh, that's beautiful, that is, Andy. I'm getting shrapnel though. Right, Andy's now doing the final pass on the boring. As you can see, Ian 9 is lovely stuff to work with, and Andy's loving it as well. Right, so we've final cut. Just a slight push and that's in. That's how it should be, as tight as possible but without binding. Perfect. Okay, thank you, Andy. Right, this bit here now is truing up the outside of the collar to make sure obviously it's dead square. Right, this is the last bit of machining on the collar. We're just facing off to the correct dimensions here. Right, so we're looking good, nearly there with the finishing cut. Right, this looks like the last bit of facing off now, just to bring the dimensions down, and then Andy will show you what it should be on the reading. That's roughly where we are, 5.8 mil, which is pretty much okay. That's what we've set our sort of dimensions for, and it seems to work pretty well. So that's our little benchmark, that is. Okay, on to the next. Okay folks, well what we've done now, we've put the collar with the saw cut
and fitted that on the liner right up against the face. And what we'll do now, we'll put that in this little 3-jaw chuck right up against the face of the chuck. We'll tighten down the jaws onto the collar, and this is the crucial bit, this is the repinching time. We'll now give it a good nip with the chuck key, and that's one little nip,
and then
undo the chuck key, rotate it until you see the saw cut in between the next pair of chuck jaws. Another nip and a pinch, undo, and the final pinch, saw cut in the middle of the last set of 2 jaws, tighten up, and then the final nip for the final pinch.
okay, let's try the old
And there we go.
try the old piston in there now.
Okay folks, it's Andy here. I'm just going to show you now what the results are after we've repinched the liner in that 3-jaw chuck. Now, as you can see, remember before it was virtually touching the top of the liner, and here we go, piston up, and it won't move any further. Quite a lot of hand pressure on there, and it is about 4.5 mil before the top of the liner, which is before it should have reached the button, and I would say that that was absolutely perfect. There we are, I'll just show you again. There we are.
Andy, just hold that there, I'll just zoom into that so they can. There we go.
And as we say, you can see that with your own eyes. If I was to order a piston, liner and conrod for a Picco P7 Evo 3, various quotes from £127.99 up to £159.
So we've salvaged that engine then.
And I think we could say, for the time being, we've salvaged that engine. The next step would be to assemble the engine
And run it up, yeah.
and run it up,
Okay.
and that's when the next video will come out.
Okay, bro. Right, Andy's now reassembled the engine, and he's going for a bit of heat. I know it seems a bit extreme with the blowtorch, but it's the quickest way to heat them up. Obviously, if you're careful and give it uniform heating, shouldn't be a problem. So we're just about giving it a bit of heat, and we're going to crank it over on the starter box, and then we'll wrap some foil around the head just to bring it up to temps. Right, so we've got it running. It's going to take a bit of stop-start. Oh. So it sounds pretty good, running quite well. We've left the glow starter on there, this obviously needs a bit of tweaking. Lovely that is. Just running it in, couple of tanks.